In the summer of 1990, three school friends saved up some cash for an old Renault to embark on a journey across Europe. Along their travels, they documented their experience in diaries. Now the autobiographical novella combines those three diaries, and its author is here to tell us a little bit more. Well, welcome, Rebecca. And I mean, we were talking a little bit beforehand. It's like, first of all, why a Renault 5?
It was all that was available. My mum was selling it, and it was cheap, and we knew the previous owner, my mum, and so we wanted to buy a car because we didn't want to. Everyone was interrailing in those days, and for us that was like, we didn't want to interrail because you just met a bunch of other interrailers that were just like you, and you had to go to certain stations and you had to go to certain cities. You didn't really go off the beaten track, and you had to carry a bag. We didn't want to do that. So we just thought, let's be different. And we had some pen friends as well that lived in different parts of France, and we thought, oh, we can go and stay with them, or so that's why we thought we'll do it in a car. We could drive, we could do it in a car. And that's why we bought a car, and that's why it happened like that.
I mean, I've travelled across Europe in a classic Mini, and I must admit it is one of the best experiences of my life, so I can really sort of see why you wanted to sort of document every stage of that. But you guys actually slept in the car as well.
Yeah, we didn't plan that either, but we left it a couple of days before Christmas because we were being rebellious again. We were 21 years old, and we wanted to leave before Christmas and do things our way. So it was the north of France. It was freezing. We packed a tent, stayed one night in a campsite, and it was the coldest night of my whole life, still to this day. And you kind of didn't feel safe because in the winter, when you stay on a campsite, no one else is there. No. It's a bit like The Shining, It's like there was a couple of people there, and you're not locked in. And we felt a bit nervous. It was freezing, and of course you have to pay to stay in campsites. And then we stayed in youth hostels. Again, you had to pay quite a bit of money just for a mattress in a dorm, and they kicked you out first thing in the morning. So we realised we were hemorrhaging money, which could have meant we could go on for longer without having to get work. And so we just, by accident, fell asleep one night when we were driving, and we sort of got lost. So we pulled over, and we had sleeping bags and everything. We thought, this is it. You can lock yourself in, you're safe. It's warm because it suddenly gets hotter and hotter, and that's how we did it. And it enabled us to travel, as I said, travel further. And we were young, curled up like a question mark. You could do it then.
I was going to say, I don't think I could do it now. But
no,
as we said there earlier, is that actually it's a collection. It's sort of your diary and from the other two girls that went along with you. So, but you're the one that's collated them all together into this book.
Yes, I always wanted to write this story, even at the time, because it's written in the diary. So, and I thought it would make a great tale. And it's a road trip movie. It's very positive. We never fell out. We did it. We were living in that car for 6 months. We just got on really well. We met loads of crazy people, had scrapes, had some bit hairy situations ourselves, but we always stayed together as a unit. And so we wrote diaries every night, and little sketchbooks as well, and we stuck things in them, and we've got that record, and it says that all the records, music we're listening to, things that were on MTV at cafes and bars that we stopped
in. So a proper time capsule then.
And the radio, and it is, and it's all written in the diaries. I would never have remembered that, never. And so it was great. A couple of years ago, I got the diaries. I got all three diaries, locked myself into somebody's house for a week, didn't go talk to anyone else, and just immersed myself in getting everything together. And that was my first draft. And then since then, it's been edited, and it's all true what's in the book. And there's lots of people that their real names are used, and so I had to get them all to read it first, so they didn't offend anyone. And then it got printed.
Brilliant. Well, it sounds like it's an amazing adventure, and I mean, I didn't realise it was 6 months of your life. But if people out there want to sort of read the book and find out about your adventures, I mean, how do we find the book?
It's on Amazon. It's on Kindle. It's very reasonably priced on Kindle, and you can get it at Blackwell's book books. You can get the real book on Amazon as well, but Blackwell's of Portsmouth University have copies of the book, and it retails at £5.99.
Wow, so that's quite reasonable. And obviously then it might be inspiration for some of our viewers out there maybe to go on a European road trip of their own.
Yes, why not?
Excellent. Well, Rebecca, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.